And apparently France have bailed already. So this is just going to be Austria and Castile. So France are abandoning Austria to their fate. Definitely not going to be leaving a pending problem until later. Absolutely no sense of that whatsoever. I feel as if Genoa put themselves into a corner. Yeah, I must say I am really questioning their decision to abandon Genoa. Like, they were in a fairly strong spot. They just completely humbled Aragon in a war. They had all of their provinces still in Italy, and they seemed to be doing okay. And then they decided to abandon all that and then move into the Crimea. Muscovy, Poland, Ottomans as an alliance. If I was playing, I'd be wanting to be Ming or Inca or something to get away from it all. Yeah, that's a pretty powerful coalition right there. This is one of the reasons that Helson's dangerous. He's actually pretty good at making alliances and diplomatic deals. I think that's one of the things which is underappreciated about Helson's ability. And he's never backed down from a deal he's made, so he's seen as trustworthy because he keeps his word. If he says he's going to do something, or if he's not going to do something, he'll do it. And that's definitely a currency that he's built up over multiple player sessions. So, like, players definitely develop a reputation as they play. So France really has just bailed, so this is going to be basically just Castile, because I don't think that Austria has much or any of an army. He's got 6,000 men, so they are very much leaving Austria, and basically Western Europe to its fate. I'm not sure that I agree with that decision by the French, because that really is just letting the Ottomans grow bigger and bigger and causing a bigger problem in the future. Like, if they were able to do enough damage to the Ottomans and or Poland, there are enough circling sharks in the ocean that would jump on that. Quite a few people want to see the Ottomans humbled. I mean, Muscovy, if he overcommits, Sweden will jump on Muscovy because Sweden's got a bunch of goals on the Muscovites. Denmark would probably join just because they want to try and balance out the war in Europe on the European side. Castile and France already combined have a huge amount of morale, and as we've seen, they can beat the Ottoman armies when they work together. Poland coming in, but Poland is pre-Commonwealth. This is not as strong as they could be, and he does not have control over the Lithuanian forces, so I think that this would be the best opportunity to do some damage to the Poles. Bohemia not being here is like the biggest drawback. Bohemia was really the one that was going to cement the Austrian survival against the Ottomans. So the fact that they've not shown today is a problem. And then Brandenburg. Like, Brandenburg's always the big question mark. He's definitely something of a wild card who could very well turn on Poland to try and, you know, connect a certain corridor between two certain parts of his country, which has definitely not caused any problems in the future. Norway is dead, so Norway's been annexed by the Danes, so Denmark has just grown and gained a bunch of provinces. Now, Denmark was talking earlier about his plans in the future. He's already got exploration, so I can talk about this now. He's got his colonial ventures, got Quest of the New World. Has he started actually doing anything? So he has been exploring. He's found the east coast of America. He's found Greenland, but no land territories just yet. All of this is just ocean. So I think he's probably trying to get to the more prosperous territories down here in the south. Although Denmark has a goal specifically to take over Newfoundland, which is basically recreating Vinland, which the Vikings have done. A lot of the Danish goals are very much Viking-flavoured. For some weird reason, I couldn't possibly understand why they have something of a Viking flavour. How come no one started in the Americas? Because I didn't let them. They had to be in Europe or Middle East. And they had to be the larger nations. I basically created a list of countries which players could play as, and then it was first come, first serve as to who people chose, with one or two exceptions. Someone came to me and said, I really want to... who was it? The Knights. The Knights wasn't initially one of the choices, but when they lost in Hamburg, which was an OPM anyway, I said, yes, you can play in the Knights. Hamburg was supposed to form basically the Hanseatic League. It was either Hamburg or Lübeck that were the choices. And then the German miners were also one of the choices, but they started with a goal already complete to basically balance the fact that they'd be up against the larger states. Oh, Sindrian, that's good. The Danish have a Viking theme because they need to inspire more dread amongst their foes. I like that. So the Ottomans have just peaced out, and the Ottomans have taken Beck, also known formerly as Vienna. So that's now 2 goals. The Ottomans are in the lead with 2 of their goals completed. Austria going, enough, I'm done. I was abandoned by the French, and people are going to be taking note of France's apparent weakness in the face of the Ottoman aggression. And also the fact that other certain states did nothing to defend their Germanic brethren. So I wonder how this is going to shift politics in Europe now. Now I do wonder if Austria has been forced to go back to Catholic. They have. So remember, one of the goals that the Ottomans have is to maintain a balance of power between the different faiths in Europe. They don't want one of the 2 sides basically snowballing and basically dominating affairs in Europe. So the fact that he's forced a religious peace on Austria to keep them Catholic is basically enforcing a strength for the Catholic side, adding a little bit of balance against the Swedish-French Protestant group. Kara is a player, yes, they are. So Karakanulu has been allied with the Ottomans pretty much from the start of the game. They had big plans to expand out into the Great Red Blob, but the Great Red Blob got a new player today. So we have Bussy playing in the Timurids for the first time this session, and that's definitely put paid to a lot of QQ's particular plans for the immediate future. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, because QQ still has a really strong military. Like, they are basically the further eastern Poland, and they can do some serious damage with that. I mean, Timurids are also pretty good with cavalry. The Ottomans start out strong, but they do militarily grow a little bit weaker, so maybe QQ can become like the Ottoman elite cadre, I'm not sure. And Tunis is here this time, yes, there is a Tunis player. Oh, the Ottomans in Lower Germany, they are. And that also means that the Germanic objective is now no longer complete. So if we go to the geographic map mode, region, South Germany does have a bunch of Ottomans down here stopping that. So Trier and Cologne have just lost their objective as well. So I do have a couple of goals to update. I should probably do that right now. So we have the Ottomans in Vienna, and we have the Germanic miners who have lost their goal. So the only ones on the scoreboard right now are Venice and the Ottomans. Venice with 1, the Ottomans with 2. Good to know. Venice is going after the Mamelukes. That's not a surprise at all. We've had a pretty weak Mamelukes throughout the game so far. Ferrara! Oh, that's Florence. So Florence is apparently allied to Venice, and Florence did actually take Naples. I wonder how the Pope's going to feel about that particular one. So it is Venice versus the Mamelukes, Fadl, Hejaz, Beja, Ajam and Luristan, all fairly small nations. And Florence is in that as well. Are they actually allied? Yes, Venice, Florence, Ferrara and the Knights. The Knights also jumping in on this fray. The Knights wanting to spread Catholicism to as much of this region as they possibly can. So this is very much in their interests. So ordinarily the Knights may not want to get involved in this, but because of the way the goals work, you have other players that have like a vested interest in the success of other players in certain areas. And I've worded the goals specifically, so it's like, this area needs to be Catholic. It doesn't say it needs to be owned by you, it just needs to be Catholic. So if you want to achieve your goal, you can help others expand, so that then you complete your goal. It becomes far more strategic. Mordred, if a nation is a location they need to capture for their goals, do they have to hold on to it, or once it's complete the goal is locked and they can't lose it? Nope, they are not locked. So if you look at the goal list, if someone could do exclamation mark goals, that'd be great, then you will notice that a bunch of those goals are purple text. Those ones are conditional. If you no longer maintain that condition, you lose the goal. Goal, no S. Okay, I'm going to make a separate one which is with the S, because that is an entirely legitimate thing, and I was going to do that last time and I totally forgot. So let me just go and update my bot. Goal. Add command. Goals. Submit. Oh, in fact, I think this is how I do it. I edit you, I remove the message, and I make you go to goal. try that. Goals. Whoops. If I could spell. There we go. Okay. So that has the same cooldown timer as goal. That's the main reason to do it that way. So that's working. So we've now got goal and goals. Both of them will call the same thing. Alright, so we have Bussy currently fighting against Kazan, expanding into the Russian steppe, and Baluchistan and Hadramut. That is... Where's Hadramut? They are these nations. That's Baluchistan. Where's Hadramut? Oh, right. Down here, and they've actually got an army there, so the Ottomans can into the sea, apparently. That's not scary. Not scary at all. Then we've got Fizz Biscuits in Poland, I think still probably fighting Transylvania. No, this is against Moldavia and Freeland. Freeland is a trading republic, isn't it? Yeah, they are. Why is Freeland not in a trade league? Oh, I guess they were Genoese, but Genoa... No, they would be. Receiving trade power from Moldova. Trade league as Moldavia. Moldavia is a trade league. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, they are. Huh, okay. So, Freeland apparently became a merchant republic? Is that how it worked?
Hello, Mordred.
Hello.
What?
I was still
Hello.
talking. Oh, go on.
Okay. Yeah, look at where my army is.
I saw that you were in the Mamelukes territory. I'm not seeing where your army is right now, though.
Florence of Arabia. Ho ho ho.
Oh, that's terrible, and also awesome at the same time.
Ho ho.
Oh, man. You need to change your name to Florence of Arabia for a while.
That will happen, yeah.
So are you actually planning to take some territory down there? Can you, even?
No, I'm just getting Tirana in Egypt.
Okay.
And I'm just using this to get at Ethiopia.
Fair enough.
I'm coming for Ethiopia.
And I noticed you're actually sitting in Oman right now. I hadn't realized that Oman had taken that territory. Oman's actually expanded more than I'd realized.
Yeah, they have.
Interesting.
All
Very
right.
Interesting.
That's
cool.
I'll go back in there. I just wanted to share the pun.
Before you go, how do you feel about the Ottoman aggression towards Germany and having taken their second goal?
I mean, it's inevitable. They were going to do that.
That's
there
true.
was an attempt of a coalition, but that fell apart as soon as it was put together. So,
as some player coalitions certainly wind up, yes.
I mean, this one was organized by that guy. That's like every coalition organized by that guy just dissolves instantly, it feels like.
Yes, Brandenburg's absence from this war was definitely noted.
Uh-huh. And he was the one trying to, like, organize it. So...
And he had a lot to gain, because he could basically have connected his territories in Poland.
Ah. Yeah, I saw Poland join the war. It's like, why? I was talking to Poland. Poland didn't show much interest in Europe.
Poland, Muscovy did. I suspect that the Ottomans probably strong-armed him once the Franco-Iberian alliance had actually defeated the Ottomans in the mountains.
Yeah, probably. Alright.
Anyway, get back to your game.
Back to the night. Yep.
Thanks very much for pointing out Florence of Arabia. That's definitely one to remember. Cool. So, Florence of Arabia. Val with his puns, man. Crikey. I mean, he's already Machiavelli, and now he's also Florence of Arabia. I like it. It's good. Anyway, so we've got Poland going after Moldavia and Freeland. We've got Genoa in the same war. So Genoa is actually a vassal or a march? How's this one worked? Let's deselect you, then click on you. So you are currently a march of Poland. So some shenanigans of some description going on here. I don't know whether this is simply an attempt to stop Karakanulu from spreading north. Genoa's playing some weird long game. I don't know. The fact that the Timurids are already taking over all of Kazan here is going to be severely limiting where Genoa in particular can go. We've got Muscovy trying to spread east as quickly as they possibly can to get ahead of the Timurid roadblock, because one of the Timurid's goals is to take Moscow. So there is going to be no love lost between these two, I suspect. Genoa's also converted. Oh, to Orthodoxy they have. Interesting. Very interesting. Meanwhile, anyone else converted? Naples doing their darndest to convert everything around here. And that Centre of Reformation is probably going to start converting Florence's territories. I think they do target their own first. Blue Kiwi rejoining, so the Knights apparently lost connection. With your little eye, you saw 3 Swedish ships in the Atlantic. Danish ships up there. Not seeing any now. Ooh, who's that? Ooh, Holland. So the Dutch are going into the New World, though unfortunately the Dutch player is not here, so they're not going to have any say about where they actually colonize. Organize a coalition, then I'll join it. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of that guy to a T, and I'm not that surprised. He is very much the wild card of this game, and having such a wild card Prussia is frankly terrifying, because they have the power to do some real damage, and he is definitely up to his own whims. There is stuff in Greenland. I think that's just colonial range. Oh no, there's actually a Protestant province, so that does look like it's going to be a Danish colony over there. I can't click on anything right now, if this screen is up, everything else is locked, so I can't check for sure. I want to see Tunis finish taking the Maghreb. They will struggle, because there are a couple of Iberian provinces up here. I don't know if Tunis is still playing the pirate, because I know he really upset a couple of the players with his piracy, and they basically threatened to gang up on him and kill him. Whether he's abandoned that and refuted their power to do so, remains to be seen. France is hastening their own conversion, so we're definitely going to be seeing a fairly strong Protestant France here. Sweden has pretty much finished. Denmark is converting very, very quickly. Brandenburg is converting pretty quickly, even though they don't even have a Centre of Reformation. Lithuania still predominantly Orthodox at the moment, although Poland themselves are about half and half. Poland was very much in two minds not to go Catholic, and was definitely railing against the fact that I gave them a pro-Catholic objective, but historically Poland were pretty staunchly Catholic, and I felt that the Pope needed some more allies. So I said, yeah, you have a goal which is Catholic. You can, of course, ignore the goals if you want to, like Genoa's basically decided to do. But if they want to stand a chance of winning, then they basically need to keep as many open potentials and possibilities as they possibly can. Ottoman secret mission to an island. I mean, Iceland. I mean, it might be. Maybe. Tunis should just partner with Big Brother Ottomans. Feels like the European powers back down to the Ottoman might. That's true. The Ottomans have clearly terrified Europe. I think a lot of players are going to be upset with France having backed down so easily. And also a lot of people are going to be annoyed that Bohemia wasn't here. Because it's now Bohemia and Holland. I suspect there might have been more resistance in Germany had Holland actually been here. I think that Holland probably would have joined. Like, he's very good at flying under the radar, but he probably would have at least financed the efforts to resist the Ottomans. Still free land. I want to see Tunis. Tunis is currently allied to the Ottomans and Florence. So they could be raiding France and Iberia if they wanted to. I don't know if they are, but they could. In fact, where are Tunis's fleets right now? They have a fleet of 19, which are predominantly galleys and transport. They don't actually have very many light ships. Not that light ships are necessary for raiding. You can quite happily do that with galleys, as I am sure the Knights would tell you. In fact, what is the Knights' navy looking like right now? The Knights have 13 galleys, 3 heavies, crikey. 3 heavies, 2 lights, 13 galleys, and 9 cogs. I think I probably would have focused a little bit more heavily on the galleys. I mean, having the 3 heavies is going to be nice, but they're going to cost you a small fortune. And the Knights are kind of hemorrhaging cash right now.